Hello guys, how's everybody doing? I hope all is well with you and your families. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Nancy. And yes guys, I haven't found those keys. But thank God for that spare key. My husband managed to figure out how to change that battery. So yeah, that's the one I'm using. But you know what, I was trying to figure out what this means, like you lose a key in your house and you cannot find it. And I realized that last week on that Sunday, that's when I realized actually that really my daughter was moving out. She found her place. I knew about it, but now the reality had checked in my mind. So I guess losing my keys was really telling me that, although I'm saying, I'm happy for her, which I am really, but really deep down, I feel like maybe there's that part of me that is very insecure, like will she be able to manage this independence situation. I've never lived by myself ever, from my father's house to my husband's house. That has been my life. I don't know how it's like to live by yourself. So I guess that fear really was like it was in me, kind of like, will she make it? Will she be able to be safe? Things like that. The things that you fear as a mom. So I'm thinking, that's what the key, why I lost my keys? I was just disorganized internally, and I'm thinking that's what was going on with me. The week prior, losing my keys on Saturday. So yeah, I haven't found my keys, guys. I've searched everywhere. If I could look in the ceiling, I would, because I'm thinking, did they just fly to the ceiling of my house or something? But I bet when it's time for me to find those keys, I'm going to find those keys somewhere where I looked 100 million times. Yeah, so I guess I'm just thinking that's it. I think inside of me, I'm just still, there's some disorganized about this whole situation, like that motherly part that is like, oh my goodness, will my child make it as an independent woman? I'll be fine. I just gave it to God and say, help me reorganize myself, or whatever it is that made me lose those keys. Whatever you're trying to do, help me to align with whatever you are saying to me or doing in this season, because maybe I'm on the wrong path. You're trying to lead me on a different path. It can be anything. I'm just saying, it just doesn't make sense that I lose my keys just like that in my own house. But things happen. Anyway, guys, let's move on to another thing. So, of course, these keys got me distracted and frustrated and all those things. So I couldn't even come to myself to organize my own self, my own mind as to what story I need to be sharing with you guys this week. But on Wednesday, is it Wednesday? I don't know which day it was going to rain the next day here in Texas. I was having a conversation with my younger daughter about what she was going to wear for school the next day. So our night routine, what I normally do is I take her to bed, read a book, and do whatever we need to do, and then we discuss about what she's going to wear the next day for school, so that in the morning she already know what she's going to wear. So she was telling me, oh mommy, since it's going to be warm, I'm going to wear some shorts. I have to say it slowly because that's where the argument came. So I was trying to repeat it. I was trying to tell her that no, you know what, even if it's going to be a little bit warm, later on in the morning it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold, so you don't have to wear shorts, wear some jeans. Story short, to make the story short, she said, what do you mean about short? I said, didn't you say you want to wear some short? He said, mommy, what is a short? What are you saying? I'm like, is this girl making me look crazy or something? I was like, what do you mean? What am I saying? Didn't you say you want to wear a short? And she said, what is a short? What are you talking about? How can somebody wear a short? I was like, what's going on here? Didn't you say you want to wear some shorts? He said, oh, you mean some shorts? There's a way they say it, like shorts. I said, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what we are talking about, right? And she said, no, but you are not saying it like that. You're saying short. And I'm like, who wears some short? Short is what they gave me on my 8th birthday. She just turned 8, so she was like, that's a short, S-H-O-T. And you are saying wear a short, S-H-O-T, and that's not correct. You are supposed to say shorts, S-H-O-R-T-S. I was like, you get the point. Your mom talks different, so hey, you get the point. Why are you arguing when you know what I'm trying to say? So that's when I got the idea of what I'm going to talk about today, guys, about the frustrations of having an accent in a foreign country. My God, I don't know about you. If you have an accent, did you have any frustration, or do you sometimes find yourself in situation where you have to repeat so many times of what you're trying to say, trying to change your accent so that people around you can understand you better? Oh, this accent frustration is something else in this country. So let me know in the comment section if you ever ran into these accent frustrations. The accent hurts. Oh, the day I realized that I had a strong accent was when I landed my feet in this country, this beautiful country of the United States of America. I got to the airport. I was trying to find my way to wherever, and this was in the Atlanta airport. It's huge, so this was my first time, flying in an airplane and being on such a big airport like that. So I was trying to find my way. My daughter was 1 year at the time when we got here in this country. So when I was trying to ask for directions, like, where is this, oh my goodness, that's when I knew I had the accent. They were like, what did you say, ma'am? Can you speak slowly? At that time my accent was really even stronger than now. So they were like, oh, what are you saying? Can you speak slowly? Things like that. The second time I realized that my accent is a problem is actually through my own family members. When I was living in Rochester, New York, hey Rochester, I was so excited to be in this country. So that time we did not have any cell phones. So we had those landlines, I don't know if you know about that, when you have phones in your house. So I was leaving a voice note so that whenever somebody calls, they will be received with this kind, beautiful voice, which is Mina. So I said, after the beep, can you leave a message? Something like that. I don't know. I don't even know what I said. And my cousins, there were 3 of them. They called to welcome me, like, oh, welcome to the, to the US. And when they heard my voice note, instead of them to hang up and laugh, they laughed so hard on that voice message. More than 7 times. They will hang up, they will call again, they will hear my voice note, and they will laugh. They will hang up, they will call again. This repeated more than, I think, 7 times. Their laughter was just ingrained. It was just it stuck in my head. And when I came back, when we came back, my husband and myself, I was so excited to listen to the voice messages, because I had a lot of family cousins here already. So I was like anticipating to hear from my cousins welcoming me to the US. So the first thing I would do was check that voice message, to check on my voice messages. And when I heard the laughter of them laughing at my voice note and repeating my voice note, that really hurt my feelings that day. I was hurt, because not only was I hurt that I did this with I thought I was really saying it in I don't know what. They laughed so hard, and that stayed with me. It took me a while to forgive them. Not that they hurt me knowingly, but I wasn't a healed person at that time. I took a big offense in that. I did. And that's when I knew that, Sister Nancy, you have an accent, my dear. So just imagine encountering such negative vibes from others because of your accent. That kind of plants insecurity in you, because you are going to encounter people who are negative and people who are positive about your accent. So as time went on, when I realized that, I had a strong accent, at that time, I tried to change how I talked, trying to fit in. You do everything to try and change. I would listen to how they speak, and I'll try to mimic, and it never came out well. I don't know, for some people, like, it's so easy. They can change how they are, the way their tone of voice and things like that. It's so easy. But for me, it wasn't easy at all. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the school that you go to when you are in your country. If you went to a B school where it's shown like your language is you're speaking your language, then it's going to be hard to adjust to the other expression of how you are supposed to talk and sound. But if you went to a school, like in my country, if you go to a school where there's white people in the school, then those people, some people, it's so easy for them to adjust the way they sound or the way they talk. But other people, even in the B school, I know some people went to B schools in my country, and when you hear them talk, they sound really American. So I guess it just has to do with the person, really. So yeah, for me, it was hard. I tried to change the way I would sound, I would talk, and it never worked out. This tongue it was just not doing what it needed to do. It just wasn't working out. So, depending now on your maturity level at that time, when you get to a country like this, the way you respond to the negative or the positive people who has something to say about your accent is going to depend on you. So it took me a while, depending with who I'm talking to. If they are positive people, I would react positively if they ask me to repeat myself, or if they are laughing but I know that they are laughing in a positive kind of manner. then I'll respond positively. But if it was a negative person back then, I would respond negatively too. Because I wasn't mature. I was like, you are saying I have an accent. You have an accent too. You're saying I speak fast. You speak fast. And really, to me, it sounded like all Americans, when they talk, they spoke really fast. And I sounded really fast to them. But then I realized it's because of that accent thing. If you're dealing with a negative person who has a problem with your accent, the conversation is really going to get really weird. Like, for example, for me, let's say I had already noticed that I was already being discriminated because of the way I talk. Notice that those negative people will say, and you can see it in their facial, in the way they are saying, can you repeat yourself? They'll be like, I can't hear what you're saying, ma'am. Can you need to say it again. And then you will try to say it in a nice way, but they keep on mocking you or laughing, like, what did you say? Like, there's a way you can tell a person with an accent to repeat themselves, like, can you repeat yourself? It's the way you represent it for them to repeat themselves. But if you say, can you repeat what you're saying? What are you saying? Like, with an attitude and your facial features and everything else, it's to me, it was already saying, you know what, you're not interested to whatever I'm going to say, because you already judged my accent, like you don't know what you're saying or whatever you have judged. So that would happen a lot with the negative people. So what I would learn to do now, when I immediately notice that this situation is a negative situation, instead of keep on repeating myself for people to mock me because of my accent, I will immediately say, you know what, let me just spell it for you. How about that? Let me just spell it for you. And that will just make the conversation die immediately. Because if I try and keep on repeating myself, I'm going to just repeat myself in a way that I know of, and they will keep on mocking and laughing and trying, so that you get frustrated. So I just learned to say, you know what, let me just spell it for you, and that will end the conversation, like just like that. So yeah, even today when I see that people would say, oh, I'm not understanding what you're saying, and they are being negative about it, I'll just say, you know what, let me write it down if I have a pen and a paper, or let me just spell it for you in a nice way, and then that will just make the conversation So end. Let me just tell you some of my most challenging words that I have encountered, and there are a lot, but I'm just gonna tell you a few. Get some water. No, now it's sounding even better. Even if I say water, it's sounding better now. But back then, I don't know what I would say. But then I found myself, every time when I asked for some water, they'll be like, you mean water? So there's a D. You don't say water. It's water. I'm like, okay, water. And the problem is, I don't know why I pull my words. I think this is a habit that was formed when I was trying to change my accent. So it's stuck with me. So I don't know how not to pull my words now. So they'll say, you mean water? Not water, ma'am. Water. So now when I want to ask for some water, I say water. And in the US, they don't say robots. In my country, we say robots for traffic lights. I did not know that robots are called traffic lights here. So anytime I would want to give somebody direction or something like that, I would say, oh, when you get to the robots, turn left and whatever. And we'll always have to laugh about it afterwards when the person, this is with, like my friends or something, they'll be like, what is robots? We don't have robots here. What are you talking about? What robots? I did not know we have robots. I'm like, those lights with green, yellow, orange, red, that's what I'm talking about. oh, you mean traffic lights? I'm like, okay, traffic lights. So, things like that you're going to encounter, So people who taught me the correct way of saying things in US, I appreciate those people, because that's where I would learn how to say things in American way, instead of maybe British way. Since our country was colonized by the British, our English is more at the British side for those who would encounter somebody from my own country. So you hear some words like, I would say, when I started working, I would say, I want to go for a holiday, please. I want a holiday. And my supervisor would be like, holiday? What holiday? I did not know. I didn't know that we have a holiday coming up. What are you talking about? You want to go on a holiday? I'm like, I need to get some time off. So I think somewhere in the conversation, the person will make sense of what I was trying to say, and they'll be like, oh, you mean vacation? No, here we say vacation. We don't say you need some holiday days. You need some vacation days. I'm like, okay, vacation. Thank you. Now I know it's vacation. It's not holiday. Even holiday, you don't say holiday. It's holiday. Is it holiday? Holiday. Holiday. Not holiday. Holiday. I guess, even if I want to try to say it the proper way, it's not going to sound right. So it is what it is. So when I get to the laundromat, I would want some change. So I would go and ask, let's say, the owner for some change. And I'll ask, can you give me some 25 cents, please? I will never forget this. This person would look at me and say, what do you mean 25 cents? How can I give you 25 cents? I'm like, this person don't know a 25 cents, how it look like. And then they'll be like, oh, you mean a quarter? I'm like, what's a quarter? Oh, a quarter of a dollar. So you call it a quarter, not 25 cents. Okay. I get. Even time, reading time. How you are used to in Africa to say, oh, it's 10 to 11. Which is 10:54. No, now it's what? 10:54. So in my country would say it's 6 minutes till 11, o'clock, right? So when somebody asks me time, I'll say, oh, it's 10 past 11, or it's quarter to 11, or something like that. I had to learn how they say time also here. I don't know if it's with everyone, but anytime you have to tell people time over here, you have to just say, oh, it's 10:54. The way you see it. Oh, it's 10:50. Oh, it's 10:30. Oh, it's 10:31. You don't have to try and figure out, oh, so if it's 42, then it means it's 18 minutes from becoming 11. So you don't have to say, oh, so it's 18 minutes to 11. You just say, oh, well, it's 10:42. Things like, it's small little things, but they were, you had to learn. I want some fish and chips, and would argue back and forth with the waiter. I'm like, oh, ma'am, we don't have chips here. Then because it's on the picture, I'm like, but you're showing chips over here. Oh, you mean fries? Those, we call them fries. I'm like, oh, okay, fries. Those are things, learning experiences that I encountered. Oh, let me not get started on this one. The number 13. For me to say it the correct way, I have to say it like this. 13. Because if I don't say it like that, it's going to sound like I'm saying 18. Because anytime I went through the drive-through, I'll say, can I get number 13? But when I say, can I get number 13? they always thought I'm saying number 18, and they'll be like, we don't have number 18. I'm like, okay, can I get number 13? I always had to say that 13 because they wouldn't understand what I was saying. When I said it, it sounded like I was saying 18. Then when we didn't have what you call this thing, YouTube, things like that, where you just say, okay, how do I pronounce this word? And after 20 times looking at the person's mouth, then you're like, oh, that's how they say it. 13, you know, something like that. But of course, when Americans say it, they are not gonna say it like 13, like what I'm doing. But for me to say it the correct way, I have to do that. So you can understand me. You get? I've suffered. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh, and let me not get started on I won't even say it. Because even to today, I don't know how to say this word. Fork. So you know how you go to the restaurant, let's say I'm at Chick-fil-A, I want some utensils. That's what I say now. Oh, can I get some utensils, please? Because I got tired of saying this word and people will laugh. I mean laugh. But I thank God because of me not saying this utensil really well, I have received gift cards because people just wanted to hear me say this word, and they'll laugh and like they try to teach me how to say it and I'll still not get it. So yeah, when I wanted that utensil, the F utensil, I wouldn't even say it no more. I would just like, can I get a utensil? And then the person will say, oh, do you want a spoon? Or do you want a spoon, or you want a knife, or you want the F one? I'm like, oh, that one, the F, yeah, that one. Because anytime I would say it, it didn't sound right. So I gave up on that one. So I would just say, you know what, can I get some utensils? Because it's easy for me to pronounce it. Oh my God. Like pronouncing Ara. You know, we say ara, but they don't say ara. They say ah. So it's been a journey. It's still a journey. I just told myself, you know what, instead of you frustrating yourself, having a migraine afterwards, trying to speak the American way, just learn to speak slowly, so that the other person can understand, because truly they haven't encountered somebody who speaks like you. So you have to also know that they are trying to figure out what you are trying to say here. So I've just learned to not frustrate myself and do the best I can in that situation. I said, you know what, Nancy, just be comfortable with who you are, the way you talk. If someone wants to hear what you're saying, they will hear it. If they don't understand you, you just repeat yourself in a slow pace, in a pace that they can understand. If not, you move on. Keep on moving, because not everybody is going to appreciate the way you talk, your accent, or the effort you're making for them to understand you. So yeah, now I just don't concentrate on my accent. I just concentrate on saying my words clearly, in a pace that somebody else can understand me. And it works out sometimes it doesn't work out. So it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. And to make things worse, I don't know why all my jobs was in customer service when I had this deep accent. I guess I wanted to prove something, or I guess I wanted to learn how to talk. But you know what, I'm grateful. All my the jobs I worked in this country had to do with people, because watching people and seeing how they were talking, their mouth, it helped me to figure out some words and understand also how they talked, and figure out the correct way of saying things. So I'm grateful. And now with those negative scenarios that I encounter, I just don't let that offend me. I'll just take it as a humorous or learning experience. Either if the person is willing to learn together, I'll just try and tell them like, oh, you know what? We say this word like ketchup. We don't say ketchup in my country. We say tomato sauce. So I'll take it as let's learn together. I'm gonna teach you how we say it in my country, and you teach me how you say it, and we both learn. So that when you encounter somebody from my country and they tell you, "Can I get some tomato sauce?" you know, like, oh, they mean ketchup. So if it's a negative scenario where people are trying to be negative, I try to take it as a learning experience and never take it as an offense, like what I used to do when I was not healed in my immature self. Because I don't want to deal with that no more. It's too many negativity out there, so I'm not gonna try and take somebody who's not willing to understand my accent to go back and forth with them. It's either we're gonna learn together, you're gonna teach me the proper way, and I'm going to also teach you something in that same scenario, and we move on. So if you're new to this country and you're experiencing these accent issues, don't get discouraged. If you can learn and you want to change how you speak, go for it. You would have so many advantages when you speak like an American, because having an accent has some disadvantages, a lot of disadvantages. I'm not gonna lie to you. But when you know how to tune your voice and speak the proper way, not the proper way, the American way, then you're gonna have some advantages to that. So go for it if you can learn. I wanted to learn, but this tongue was just so much into the motherland, in the mother language, that for me to even be talking to you guys, it shows that I've learned quite a lot, but the accent is still there. I just have to learn to love it. That's who I am. That's part of my identity. So if you don't love that part of you, then it's gonna be an issue. So you just have to love that part of you, that accent you and all. You are not going to be like everybody else. That's your identity. You just have to love the way you talk, the way you sound, the way your voice sounds. Everything about you is just part of who you are. And if you don't love it, then it's just gonna be worse out there. If they don't love it and you don't love it, then what? Are you going to be silent? You see? So no, you just have to love everything that comes with you. It's a package. That's how God created you to be. If He wants you to sound different, then you're gonna sound different. If you can learn, then learn, if that really bothers you. But if that doesn't bother you, then learn to live with your accent. So I will say, just focus on being clearly heard than trying to change your accent. Because if you focus on trying to change your accent and you keep on encountering hurdles, you're just going to be more frustrated, because the people who you are trying to please or trying for you to avoid for them to hurt you are just going to make you remain in a cycle of frustrations and disappointments and hurt. But if you just focus on being heard clearly and trying your best to, if you learn something, use it, then that's what I'll do. That's what I do even today. I just focus on, if I can learn the word, then I learn it and I try to speak clearly. Sometimes it doesn't go as planned, but I try. That's all you can do, is try to be heard clearly. I tell you, if you just focus on trying to fit in and changing who you are, trying to sharpen that accent, yet you're not happy doing it, then you're gonna have some sore throats. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I had so many sore throats trying to figure out, how can I speak like this? How can I sound like this? I'll try, practice. It never worked out. In my case, it never worked out. That's why I'm saying, if it can work out for you, then there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying and it's not going that way, then it's time to let it go and just be happy in your accent, because there's nothing else you can do. Because if you keep on pushing it, that's when you end up with some sore throat. And I'm telling you, yes, you will have some sore throat, because the minute you try to say, can I get some French fries and some bread, some water. Yeah, I think that'll be all. You know, even me, I sound stupid and strange. That's just not me. So just be you. Just simply be you. If you can learn. If it's natural, if it comes natural to you. But if it's like me, where you're trying and it's just not sounding right, then it means just stay in the skin, in the voice that you are in. So guys, just be proud of your accent. It's part of you. That's who you are. If you can change and you want to change your accent, then hey, go for it. If you can't change it, love the you. Love the sound, love the voice, love everything, the deep, the strong accent, the light accent, whatever accent you have, just love it. Love it and just fit in that world with that accent. God will just put you somewhere where the people who understand you will understand you. Those who don't want to understand you will never understand you, and you don't need them to understand you. But those who are for you, they will eventually understand you, and they are willing to teach you, and just be willing to learn some of these words that are different. So drop a comment, guys. Let me know what country you are from, if you have an accent, and what challenges do you face, and what do you do, or what did you do to overcome it. Let's learn together in this journey. It's all about learning and growing, right? So this is it for today, guys. I will see you in my next video. You have a blessed week. Bye.